Yeah, and I power recorded it as well, so I'm not messing around. But I just can't be asked.
How many keyboards have you got within an arm's reach right now?
About 13, custom made. All custom made, of course.
Stuff.
That's unreal. I have 2 keyboards, and I was like, man, I have too many keyboards. But like, I guess you can never have too many keyboards, especially not if you're you, James. We actually do have Counter-Strike as well. I don't know if like we've just kind of been arranging like playing some games together, but there is also this Mousesports FAZE game that's meant to be going on, and it's actually, believe it or not, that's what we're seeing right here, right now on our screen, and it's observed by Prius. It's great to have him back.
Man like Prius. Wear the sunglasses.
Oh. All right. So this pistol round, how are we feeling about it thus far? It's a little A-site play, a little something juicy.
How the fuck do I full screen this thing?
This is going to be one brawly game, and it's already showing off that way. Acore trading, and Cold stuck in the palace. The bomb is open, but he is not. He's been shut down by Carrigan. And I feel like that's a quick talking point as well, right? Like Mousesports, Carrigan rumored at time to be looking or at least talking to FaZe, especially post Nico departure. We know his history in this team. We know his relationship with the players. That's a cool concept. Obviously, nothing materialized, but it's always nice seeing Carrigan against FaZe.
FaZe like creeping in there, like an ex, right? Like, hey man, remember how good we had it? Like, like trying to bring him back around. I miss you, Carrigan.
Who doesn't?
But yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool. Honestly, I mean, I want to see what Acore in Mouse is able to bring to the table before we have changes go on, because I think you have so many good and malleable players in this team that I wouldn't want to see, because I feel like Carrigan really is like a linchpin in terms of holding things together tactically, and I love him and Rops and the duo that's come to be, right? How they play off of one another, how we've seen guys like Rops develop as a player to be almost like this mentor and secondary cooler now. I think it's really, really cool having them both on the same team, so I hope we don't have that duo broken up anytime soon.
I miss the Oscar and Rops connection, man. They would just get up to some wild stuff back in the day. But I think Carrigan is an all too rare, strong leadership figure, as well as the IGL stuff, which is really a great addition to any team. I think FaZe Clan may lament the lack of Carrigan in some respects. This map is the pick of FaZe Clan, but they're currently 29% on Mirage in their recent matches. But hey, it's one way to force it into your map pool, right? If you want to get better at it, you've got to pick it.
Yeah, not exactly seeing the improvements just yet, right? But it's early days. We're hoping that turns around a little bit. Thus far, Mousesports have been looking good, winning the pistol, on track to win the anti-eco, and just get these couple of freebies in past the keeper.
20 seconds, tick-tock. That bomb's still in middle for FaZe, but it's coming in through Con. Frozen's going to be ready to go to stop that, or BMAS, who has a crossfire under balcony. Will Cole be able to clear him in time? Olof needs to go quick, 10 seconds, and they both fall to Carrigan and Frozen. Not a problem for Mouse, who have that eco under lock, or anti-eco under lock and key. And we wait for one more, as FaZe have almost nothing in this round. Mousesports probably going to go 3-0 up before things get all too interesting.
Yeah, we'll see the real meat and potatoes soon enough. Acore and the AUG for now. Some pros say that the AUG is better than the M4A4 in its current iteration. I heard you guys talking about the Galil as well as like a T-side M4 earlier on, which it does have better armor penetration than the M4A4, which is pretty interesting, because I feel like life is hard for CT sides at the moment versus how it used to be. I think things have become more difficult for CT teams. I do wonder if we'll see any updates to the organ, the Krieg in the next 6 months.
Yeah, I think it's scary being on a CT side at the minute, because like you can be like, you could have had a great first half, and then you get to like say like 13-8 up, and that's still a very vulnerable position to be in on the CT side, right? Because it's so easy to get stuck in that like realm of never having money, and then like you'll get one buy, but then if you lose that, oh well, it's back to pistol armor. And I think that's one of the reasons why people say, oh, it feels like games are longer now, right? Because it does feel like a lot more a battle of of balancing the money on the CT side, whereas the Ts feel like they have a lot of freedom. You know, like in terms of force buys, they can bring more to the table. In terms of getting the rifles out, well, their rifles better, and it's also cheaper. So it is a bit weird right now, it feels like. I always get very, very scared whenever you see a team on the CT side with a lead, because it doesn't feel like that's something that can keep up as well as maybe it used to be able to.
Yeah, I think there's less breathing room as well with the current economy. There's just more and more money, almost a comeback mechanic at this point. So we saw some damage done by FaZe Clan in this round. Very awkward in the window with the AUG, but now the AWP is out for Acor, taking the place of Chris J, who has some quite outstanding highlights on the CT side of Mirage especially. Very curious. I think last time I saw Acor, performance was somewhat underwhelming, but maybe that can change now. It's a fast play from Rops and Palace, which is punished by Cold Zero. It's a nice early start for FaZe Clan, looking for their first round.
Yeah, if you look at Acor's numbers, at least his ratings against top 30 teams, they're actually really, really good, mostly in the green, back on Mad Lions. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of really bright signs for this player. And no surprise why Mousesports have him in their wing, but what will he be able to get up to? Right now it's FaZe with the man up. They have the mid control. Looking to group on the short side as well, go for this B split. Right now, Acor is in the right position to do some damage at the back of the site. Carrigan up in the ladder room. Will they be able to get right past him for free? He's giving them a lot of room, but Rain takes his head off, chasing him down. Acor now dropping a smoke to fight onto the short side, but he's actually cut his own line of sight off, and they're past him. They're into the site. A missed shot for Acor. Frozen finds one, but Acor's flashed out and Frozen's gone. It's all on this lone Dane. A quick shot, but he's going to get traded, and the round falls by the wayside. FaZe find their first, and yeah, Mousesports just getting overwhelmed at B with very little picks to their name. And now that CT economy that we're just talking about already coming in, and not too clutch for Mousesports. They'll be able to buy up one more, but even then there's going to be weaknesses on this buy, and next they'll be fully broke.
Yeah, they have died a lot in these previous rounds. Oh, so that smoke from Olofmeister is very specific. Basically, well, I'm just going to talk about the smoke while this round plays out. Nice reaction from Acor. So there are different ways to smoke mid-window, but the specific one, the lineup you saw from Olof goes straight in the middle of the window. So if you molly it, it still is a perfect smoke because it lands in the middle. Whereas most other smokes from around the bin, etc., they land in the right side of the window, then bounce to the left, which is why it creates a gap when you use the Molotov. So that's definitely one to learn in the demo. Only two players remaining now for FaZe Clan.
Didn't the bomb get dropped?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. You've thrown all this nice smoke work, and then the bomb goes up into window alone, and Kirby now has given that over to Mouse. Brokey in a rough spot, but he's often good in these clutches. A 1v3, never going to be easy, and they're already on that bomb, and that was always going to be the problem for him there, right? No matter how much room he creates, they don't necessarily have to worry about giving in those fights. They can just play for him to get the package. So Mousesports get that round on the board. A bit of a weird one for FaZe to send Kirby up into the window all alone with that bomb on his back. If there was one place I think you wouldn't want to drop the bomb, it's probably there.
Well, just pistols and grenades now for FaZe Clan. They'll need to do some damage and keep the buy less than pristine for Mousesports in the rounds to come.
Oh.
Not too shabby, that damage. I wonder if Acor is scared of potential HEs behind that smoke in the short position as he falls back to a more passive angle, not wanting to give stuff up. He got caught by a boost from Olofmeister under the window in rounds prior. So it seems they'll play this one a little safer. Nobody deep short either. You can see FaZe Clan looking for these curious picks, but they're not going to come anytime soon from Mousesports.
Yeah, just giving mid away, saying if you want it, take it, but you won't get to the sites. Acor watching the short cross. FaZe don't take it. They group back at A. Now, FaZe have saved 3 smokes and a flashbang for this exact play, so it's actually pretty perfect that no one commits and dies in the middle, and Acor gives them that room. But I say that, Acor's swapping out in CT right now, putting that up in the perfect spot to deal with this A take. Will there be a CT smoke down? You'd like to think with 3 smokes coming in, where else would that third one go? Robs, he sees them getting out as well. SMG in the perfect spot, and he's already dealt with Rain. The molly cuts FaZe off as he gets flashed back in for a little bit more, making money with Robs, and he's got the tutorial right on our plate 4. Look at the ace, and he's got it. Rops making it look easy, and Mousesports have 5.
A man like Rops, dude, that is, yeah, no, he's he's pretty good, isn't he? And this is why I really love like the kind of team compilation that you've got here inside of Mousesports. I think it's such a good balance. You know, you've got Karrigan as this very tenured, experienced leader who's been used to developing talent. And I even like the story. I mean, I really like the storyline of, you know, BMAS filling in for FaZe for a bit, joining Mouse. And you know, while he was in FaZe, his numbers weren't very good. But now that he's been in Mousesports, they've looked far better. And I love that idea, you know, of like the old back and forth between the old FaZe clan and Mousesports, and how they've kind of nurtured this talent that FaZe admittedly weren't using long term, but they weren't able to get much out of. This round, we do have a 5-on-4. That's thanks to Kierby down here in the lower tunnels. So early on, Mousesports given a pick over. And now having to go on the defense. Having to give FaZe clan mid control, give up that area of the map, play the respect game, as they now wait for this hit to come their way.
Oh, just looking for a push around that smoke, just in case. And here comes Bemis creeping. Who's the angle better for? Cold Zero's got the right side, peeking a headshot. That'll create some space and draw some attention towards the safe bomb site. Got Frozen now, trying to hold things down, but also needs to stay alive for the rotation should it be the A bomb site. And perhaps it will be. There's Rain popping in from triple, which leaves only 2 now for Mousesports. And this becomes yet another expensive round, but only the potentially second round for FaZe Clan. Acor now on a 1 versus 5, misses his first shot, misses the flick as well. I don't think he'll be alive for much longer. That's not an easy hop up on that tank, actually. But he gets it first time. To no avail, however. They lose everything. No kills in that round for Mousesports.
Yeah, that's something Acor's really good at. His movement is definitely one of the best out there. I've seen him in some of the Blast KZ maps where he's just, you know, styling on all the other pros. So not a hard jump for him, perhaps. But right now, FaZe, they jump up with the second round. Another AWP out in Acor's hands, at least. Kierby dropping the con molly. The AWP on FaZe is looking for a ramp pick, but molly and smoke in front of it. There's no entrance for Brokey. Still defaulting our FaZe. Mauser put that up inside of the palace to look for a pickup. It might find Cold, who is playing extremely passive, but you'd imagine he'll move in eventually. The question is Acor that patient? Will he hold on to what seems like right now a worthless position for so much longer? If he does, it's the right call, because FaZe is setting up for what looks like to be an A split with that mid control. They've got players under the window, ready to boost if needed. Rops is holding on from the cinder blocks. And Cold is not budging. Great patience for him, but I think it will finally pay off for Acor, who is also unwavered by seeing nothing. That's a good kill for Rops, but traded. And let's see if Acor is pulled back. He is exactly, and that gives Cold the room to move. Now Palace belongs to FaZe. That is going to be a timing that Mousesports are not ready for. They've smoked Palace, sure, but they're not going to be ready for Cold pushing in as soon as they've fallen out. Can Cold find a crucial entry into A that could set up this split?
Bomb now being collected by Olofmeister, and it makes its way towards the A bomb site. See if Mousesports make a play as time starts to run out for FaZe Clan. 25 seconds on the clock. Will they send Karrigan into apps, for example, and rotate Frozen over? There'll be a molly there just in case. Now Kierby's creeping in jungle. Just can't quite find that entry. 15 seconds on the clock, and we've got Acor and Bemis in CT. 10 seconds now for this bomb to get planted. Flashbang may go behind these CT plays, actually, but Acor's caught out. BMAS playing for the bomb plant. There it is, and there's the round as well. No need to do anything more, Mousesports. They've stolen it. FaZe Clan left little margin for error. there was error, and there's a round for Mousesports.
That's such a good peel back for Mouse, right? You can you see the smile on Carrigan. As soon as they fall out of the Palace, they double set up in CT. Not only did Kirby kill the first player there, never expecting the second, but Mousesports is just perfectly poised, giving up the site, wasting so much time for FaZe to clear all those awkward angles like Con, mollying under Balk. They were never ready for the second man, who dropped the bomb and won the round. A shot for Acor, missed window smoke, and that's going to cost them as Mousesports take a pick.
Yeah, and this mid-fight now slowed down a great deal, right? You do have players pushing close to these missed smokes, and that kill getting given over has really enticed FaZe to... All right, Robs. All right, guy. There you go. That's what he gets. Brokey holding him from the Palace is there to lock that one in. Look at what's gone on here in the way through the apartments. It's Carrigan getting aggressive. And that's going to sound the kind of alarm bells now for FaZe to commit to this A play. At this point, Mouse know that it can't be B. They've got all this information. They've got a lot of control. However, one of those players is kind of out of action all the way over in top mid. So this is where FaZe are looking to get into this A site. They actually fall on back, moving out of there. That's because his bomb dropped all the way down in connector. They've got to try and get it back. So they've got to find this fight onto Carrigan in top mid. And this is a nice spot for him. Cold, taking a long way round, all the way around the world. Will Carrigan be ready for that?
Though. 34 seconds on the clock, and Brokey's creeping shotgun mode with the LWP, as is Frozen, more or less. 29 seconds for Cold, and that bomb is just next to connector. Carrigan had a good angle, though, on the side of those boxes, but will he peak in time? 20 seconds, and surely that objective has to be found. A very quick scope from Frozen, and Carrigan peeks out at the right time. Very fast forward play from Carrigan in the B apartments to get a strong position, and it's a 5-round lead for Mousesports. You may have seen on the X-ray when Cold Zero was coming out ramp, he was crouching. If anybody's playing default or something and those bricks are in the way, if he's crouching, they won't see him until he chooses to stand. I think he may have just seen, I think it was BMS, as he was making his way towards Shadow. But that's something to be aware of, something to do at home as well.
Bomb costs them everything, though, and with no plant, no buy. It's Brokey's solo rifle and 4 deagles surrounded by it. Contact play out ramp, no flash. Acor with a rare missed shot, and he goes back in with a nade. But FaZe, they bail, they dive out and leave it to the Palace play of Cold, who's being held by BMAS on the balk. There's really nowhere for free for FaZe, other than middle, but Mousesports have been inclined to give this position away in most of these rounds. Fine to give up window boosts. It's not really cost them all too much in the grand scheme of things. Often won the rounds that FaZe have used to make control to their advantage. Think to BMAS dropping the bomb on default just rounds ago from CT. Oh, nice little aggro move from Mouse, moving 2 players down the ramp. Get a lot of control. FaZe are sending players back in through spawn, though, towards A. So this off position for BMAS could certainly catch out Olaf, who's coming in to line up utility. Will he check below him?
Nice little drill from BMS. Won't outstay his welcome. Kirby is coming for info, though. Oh, that's a lot of info for Carrigan. Drops the bomb on short. We'll go back with the HE grenade knife combo for him. Props will be the first damage done for FaZe Clan in this one. They'll be looking for more than that, but maybe opportunities have come and gone now as only KRB remains. Misses the first dig, lands the third one. 23 seconds on the clock, and he has Kevlar. 1900 though, he kind of needs to die here, and he will. And Mousesports make it to 8. 2 players lost, but well, there could be impact from that actually. FaZe Clan have the potential to maybe send Mousesports to Eco, but first they've got to find some more success.
This is a really good look for Mousesports, though, right? This is a good start on the their opponent's map pick. Things are looking good, and you know, I feel like you see this a lot with Mouse. Whenever they have these like, end-of-year breaks, a bit of time away to then come back and iron things out, it does feel like they give us good performances. Oh, all right. Brokey with the AWP, going to be there to put something up for FaZe. And that's teed them up now to maybe make this B play happen. There's a lot of attention here from FaZe Clan. They've got everyone, apart from Rain, over towards those apartments. He's sneaking down through middle. Not actually any smokes down to really help him outside of this this top mid corner smoke to get him out. He tries to go through it, but if he does, Frozen is waiting there on the other side. Now, there's not really much in that B site for Mousesports right about now. Outside of Frozen at short, the other man's all the way back in market, and so that can give you a pretty wide berth into the site if you're FaZe, but they're not looking at B anymore. They've changed their mind, showing a lot of attention here early on, getting that pick, and now hoping that Mousesports have overcompensated and rotated players round. They look back towards the A bomb site.
In terms of retake utility, we've only got some smokes here for Mousesports, which could potentially create some space, but with one flashbang, things could get awkward for them if FaZe Clan, especially if FaZe Clan get an entry here onto BMAS, who's about to be isolated unless Karrigan can do something. He's trying to stay alive, but there's two very fast frags from FaZe Clan, and this round may be over. Again, Mousesports don't have much money due to the damage that FaZe Clan at least did in those rounds prior. And indeed, Mousesports will scurry away, and finally FaZe Clan find a third on their pick of Mirage, which hasn't been their greatest map, let's say, of late, but it's always time to turn it around.
Yeah, at least getting out of the round with something, right? Like, you hold on to this, you could maybe cobble something together, or at the very, very least, you've got something to throw in the way of this FaZe T side, try and put a stop to it, and then if not, maybe you get away with the AWP again next. Let's see what decision they end up making here, because it's still a very, very good scoreline, and it's still a long ways away from you getting too worried yet if you are Mousesports. Obviously having to lean into that kind of rough CT side economy game.
I think the Mousesports jerseys are pretty cool. The new ones, I say new, they're a couple of months old now, but I like them. Big fan.
They look like Tour de France, right? Tour de France jerseys or something.
I don't know, man. I think they're all right. I don't want to. No, they're not my favorite jersey. You know, I think sadly there's better jerseys out there, but I love the Mousesports like brand, like all the colors and stuff. It's just, I don't know, man. There's some real good jerseys out there. I think you can make something well sick if you're Mousesports.
Karrigan won't be happy, Harry.
I know he won't. I'm sorry, Karrigan. I didn't want to do you like this, but.
Sometimes you have to.
Oh, look at this.
Sometimes you gotta get it.
They've got by each other.
Robs, how does he win that? Hiding behind the boxes, behind enemy lines, bullets in the back of Rain's brain, and now FaZe, a desperate play into B. They smoke the Molotov. Olaf eats a grenade. One Deagle shot is all they need from him to steal it, and Karrigan shoves it back. It's Mousesports on 9. And brutal scenes in the B apartments.
Go on, Karrigan! Let's get it, man. Mousesports on to 9.
Oh man, well, with Rob's top mid, I guess they felt like their hand was forced and they had to make the play while they had personnel there, but there was utility for Mousesports, and that really compromised the positions of FaZe Clan, put them in a corner, and Karrigan put them out of their misery.
Yeah.
Eagles galore this week.
He saw Device with a Danish Deagle double down, and he wanted to do one of his own. Oh, more mid-pushing. Rain's waiting, but the flash timing, he pulls out a grenade. They're going to push him. BMAS catches him throwing utility, and this time no one gets blinded. It's a slaughter up the top of middle. Mousesports with 2 to their name, and Frozen holding their behind. Lower is locked down, and so is this round, as it looks like a 10-3 scoreline, unless that nade could save the day. It's Cold and Brokey trying to claw this one back.
Brokey. Oh, there's the first. Any more for him? He's left in the clutch, trying to get out of there. And Karrigan's going to lay him to rest. So that will be Mousesports moving up onto 10. Feeling pretty one-sided right about now. I wish we could say a bit more for FaZe at this point in time, but they haven't really given us much to hold on to yet and say like, yeah, that was sick or that worked. It must feel a bit like you're running into a brick wall at this point in time if you're FaZe Clan.
I ran into a fence once.
Yeah?
Actually, I ran into a brick wall once as well.
What was
I kind of
the
fell
reason?
into a brick wall.
Was it like a Hot Fuzz-esque, like trying to jump it, but just like running into it, or?
Never taken
Have you ever played a game
before.
40-40?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
so
40-40 in. Yeah.
you have to try and get to a base without the guy calling that he's seen you first.
Oh,
I put my hoodie on the wrong way around and thought, if I run at the base, he can't say he sees me because he can't see me. But I ran into a fence and almost knocked myself out.
Just because you can't see him doesn't mean he can't see you, surely.
And I had this egg-shaped bump like a rhino on my forehead. It was hilarious for everybody but me.
But enough about James this weekend. Back into this A play because Mousesports are getting hounded down. The Consmo comes in at the right time and it traps Brokey in the fight of Frozen, who wins it. And 3 health the difference. Rain is screwed, surely. There's the shot. And Mousesports take 11. This is just dominant stuff. This is devastating for FaZe. And like said, not really a lot to work with, not really a lot to say, yeah, okay, this is working, this is consistent. Mousesports have been giving FaZe a lot of mid-room and then, you know, swapping it up next round and pushing 2 towards the top of the boxes. So you never know what to expect if you're FaZe, whether Mousesports are going to give you that respect or not. And right now, there's no reason to. Double AWP to do it in the last round of the half.
Flashbang being eaten. Everybody's alive for now, just about. A lot of repositioning as FaZe Clan take possession of mid. Some pre-fire from Rain. Got CT's trying to hold something in mid as Karrigan makes his way around that short positional ladder, but Brokey will find him. Been a very cheeky half for Karrigan with much success, but on this occasion, no. So FaZe Clan have a man advantage, over a minute on the clock, and it gets better as BMS is picked off in Sandwich.
That's a ballsy peek for Rain, right? To go running up the stairs just to check that one angle. There's so many spots like default he could be open to, and it works wonders. Mouse are trapped out of the site with only one man hiding in the boxes. It's Frozen. Stuck in place and sneaking in. He can't stop the bomb, but maybe he can kill him as he gets off the plot. He's lost another teammate. It's awkward for Frozen. He needs to do something unbelievable here to win this round, and he's playing things smart. He's not taking the first kill while he's got it. He's seen 2. That's info for Frozen, but not enough kills getting offered up. What is this? Now the gun's back out. He takes it while he's got it, and he might have more than another. 2 down, nade in. He's going to try and stick the bomb, tap quick to force another fight, but no one's falling for it, and Cold has cleaned up the round and the half. It's only 4 for FaZe. It's not perfect, but it might be enough. We'll have to see. Stick with a second half coming up in just a sec.
Can you take it?
Yes, in the second half is just here. It's 11-4 at the half. Mousesports looking fiery, looking ferocious on Mirage right now. FaZe kind of hanging their heads in shame. Can they recover? Can they make a name for themselves in the CT side? It all starts here and now with a pistol and a fast B play for the Mouse men.
5-man on deck into the B bomb site. Make it 3. coldzera is deleting one by one. He's done his job though. For a few seconds for the rotation. If Olofmeister can stay alive, it's a nice one tap onto BMS. Then it was a 4-on-2, made 3 as Karrigan will create some space for FaZe for Mousesports indeed. But they are kind of surrounded. The high ground is now with FaZe Clan. You might just get a pop before this bomb is planted, or maybe not. Trying to survive now. Acor 5 HP. Got 2 more to get. Brokey and Kiabi dancing around these pillars. That's a headshot with the Glock, but he'll need more to find the kill onto Brokey, who's buying time now for Kiabi's rotation, moving in together, but Brokey will be enough, and FaZe Clan will take that pistol.
God, that got scary, man. Rain coming in behind in apartments and just doing so much damage to Acor on the plant. Oh. Acor finishes off Brokey. That's suddenly a very winnable round, but no. FaZe save their bacon. They float above water, just about. And a lot of that done by Cold and Olof with a pretty decent B-hole between the two of them. 3 kills, double from Cold. Olof, like you said, stalling for a good amount of time, finds himself 1. That's more than enough for your B defensive players. And Mousesports are going to force up off the back of the plant. To be expected. We were talking about money earlier and how hard it can be for CTs to buy. Well, Mousesports didn't even win the round, and they've got 4 rifles in the second. So drops over, Frozen on an AK. And definitely around where, if anything, you could make an argument the Mousesports are not favorites, but likely to win it, maybe destined to win it. Being said, the Org in window has other ideas. Brokey, with the scope, trying to fight back. Frozen hasn't shown him that he's out behind the boxes. And it's a very slow round for Mousesports in middle.
Yeah, easy does it here for Mouse, right? They're taking it nice and slow, trying to keep the element of surprise in this force buy as well, and they're hoping that they can catch FaZe, you know, maybe overextended, maybe offering something up. This is very, very slow mid approach with Karrigan now wrapping in through the lower tunnels. That'll probably be the signal to go and start to actually exert some of this pressure into mid. Kirby having to leave the connector because that smoke is now faded. And now our sports have got all this mid control they were after. They've thrown that top con smoke as well. That gives them a path up through Catwalk now to try and split this B site. But that's not the end game here. They've got 3 in con. They've got a late ramp player. And so this man over in the ladder room is instead trying to pincer Kirby. They have him trapped. They know that he's here. And Karrigan tries to take matters into his own hands. Does get dropped, but the trade is in immediately. And now the A-site play on the cards. They're out through con, but they've got very little time, and time is always ticking away. They've got to get this bomb down. They've got to get into the swing of things because they are running out of time left on the clock. Rops will get the bomb down. That's something at least. He's trapped in the site, having a fight tooth and nail, and there it is, the cat flank blindsiding him. It's Frozen and BMAS left up in the 2v2. Frozen with the swing, taps out the first man, and it's all left on to Olof, who does get it down to the 1v1. It's close, it's tight, but the MP9, not what he wanted. Scoped with the Org, the jiggle peaks coming in, and Olof wins the round.
It's gun game over here.
Crazy. I think the crouch spam, you could see he started standing up and crouching really, really slow. After coldzera's flank on short was taken out, I thought, oh my god, that's such a massive kill. Surely there's a big percentage for Mousesports here. No kit for Olofmeister either, and Mousesports will surely feel like that one was somewhat given away. A very strong position. While they didn't have CT and there were 3 guys there for FaZe Clan, the short plant was available to them. And again, killing that flank from coldzera should have been enough, but on this occasion, Olofmeister denies them.
Yeah, that definitely felt like the ball drop for Mousesports, but they've got the breathing room, they've got the round lead, and so they can be fine for now. Another reinvestment, but again, the same problems, right? Only 2 AKs in this buy. It's through the smoke with a flash, Rain fully blinded, doesn't know how many have made it out, but, well, he finds out the hard way. BMAS domes him and is going to likely jump for the stairs kill. Drops instead. and just crosses. The bomb makes its way to the site, and with the jungle smoke, BMAS finds a gap to fire through. Kjaerbye dead, Acor pushing towards spawn as well. There's a FAMAST player back here on his own. Cold reuniting with Olof, and actually FaZe might just concede. They might just surrender and go in with a save. They're already backing out towards the market in this 3-on-5. It's a hard call to make, but unfortunately it's the right call to make, as FaZe would be eco if they lost all 3 of these players.
I wonder if it's too early to say. It's looking like an early bath for FaZe Clan. Again, their CT side is yet to begin, really, but Mousesports aren't going to be too far away from closing this game out soon enough, so they've got to start turning things around pretty damn sharpish, FaZe Clan. Now, see if they buy a little or fully commit around these rifles that they have saved. 3 rifles is quite significant, but there is a Deagle on Brokey as well, which you could drop to a teammate, so we'll see what they choose to do. They are to fully invest in this round and lose. They are pretty much fucked, I think it's fair to say, but let's see what they do.
You're not wrong. Not wrong at all. And yeah, I mean, this felt not like it was over at the half, but already pretty dire, pretty out of shape for FaZe. Pistol gave us a bit of hope, but is that hope going to get dragged away as Mouse will speed up the pace? Oh, the flash of void for Karrigan. There's no way Cold knows he is this close. Look, he's already backing up with his back turned. Karrigan has walked in. He is about to slip the knife in the back of Cold. Bullet to the side of the head, and there's the B pick they needed. One more man towards the van, and FaZe have no idea what's going on. That's a good trade for Olof, but he's not going to get any more as they fall in above him. 4-on-3. Oh, nice shot for Kjaerbye. Denies the plant for now, but there's still trades for Mousesports. No kill goes unpunished. Rain doing some damage, pressured back, Frozen with a gap above the site. That's a lovely little off angle for Frozen there. You can barely be seen, and Brokey now in a clutch that he may as well give a go. We know what this guy can do in clutch situations. It's not going to be easy.
Oh dear.
Well,
okay.
Maybe it's easy,
That was
actually.
a really good smoke by him, but I feel like Kjaerbye's Deagle shot on short gives them just enough opportunity to lose everything they have. Whereas if he's not successful there, he doesn't lose much. About 1,700, and they save 2 rifles. But again, he opened the door just a little bit, enough for them to slip a shoulder and just get blasted in the face. And that puts them in an even worse position. But I can't believe how fast Karrigan got up into this spot.
Yeah.
He was basically playing ladder faster than the CTs, which is absolutely outrageous. And FaZe Clan may never get a good hold, a good footing in this game of Mirage, the way things are going. Their money absolutely sucks, and they have to buy nothing in this round. It's not really worth it. They need every penny for the 6-14 probable scoreline.
Yeah, you hope this is a round that Mouse win. If it isn't, you know, you always end up feeling kind of sour that somehow USPs have done something. You know, they've stacked everyone at B. Looks like it could be the right call, but Mousesports, they're not feeling any pressure. They're not having a rush. They can take it slow. They can wait and kind of let FaZe, you know, give them enough rope to hang themselves, as it were, right? That's what you're hoping happens here, is that they just kind of overstep, they throw the round away, they don't get anything done. That little kill there with the USP has actually netted Cold and AK, so that's something at least, but I'm really clutching at straws to try and find any hope for FaZe in a round like this. It's not really going to happen ever, so you can kind of write that off as the bomb makes its way in towards the A site, now looking to go down. Cold might be thinking about saving this AK. Gonna hang around in the early stages, right? See if he can do anything with it. But that utility has tagged him down low, and so he's already bowing out of the round. This is 14 on the board for Mousesports. It's not really much of a surprise. There wasn't much for FaZe in this one. And now FaZe have only got one chance to put a stop to this, really. Like, you know, you've got this buy up against 14, and if that doesn't go your way, then you're broke, as is the way of this CT side economy, or you're forced into a save. But even that kind of influences how you might approach a round from the get-go.
That's a great debut for an Acor on Mousesports as well. It's not like he's, you know, shining bright. He's been fine. He's hit some AWP shots on CT side when needed, but it's not like we've really relied or you know, required Acor to be a carry in this game. But it's going to be a good feeling to take down FaZe, albeit a wounded FaZe, this easily for Mousesports. With FaZe's, I think, roster under a lot of question, and especially what you said earlier, James, in the pregame about Olof maybe not wanting to play. I think that has somewhat been echoed, yeah, and, you know, more filling in for the time being. It's not going to be easy for FaZe, and, well, this game is a just example of that. 14-6, nice kill for Rain. Actually yoinks it from Kjaerbye, who was pushed in further on the ramp, and Karrigan with some B pressure, but the bomb's going out mid right now, so it's not a commitment out of the gate. He's hoping to force some early rotates. Not much getting gifted over. That Famas is on burst. Oh, lucky he didn't commit with that. They're going to re-aggro the smoke as well. Olof is very close towards it. Karrigan backs out, so with Olof's position, he knows that B is fine, and no one really adjusts their position in this round. Only the window player coming over to help mark it, but he's already retreating back to CT spawn, and it is going to be that A split right now. Karrigan's left, the bomb is going in late, BMAS has connector, and that smoke should fade soon.
Keep an eye on Karrigan on the radar. Sorry, on Olofmeister. See if he does anything forward before a play comes in from Mousesports, as he has been left alone with the off angle. Karrigan now going for the wide swing. Spot one by default, but there may be another one to deal with here. There's a very basic pop flash from Rain. No response though. We've got Kjaerbye maybe looking for multi-frags. He knows Karrigan and the bomb are on the site. He'll tell his C teammate not to go too wide. Looking for that second kill there. Down goes Karrigan. Going to sandwich now, but Rops will trade. That leaves two. Broky and Olofmeister. 20 seconds to plant the bomb, however. They need angles, and that will certainly help. Broky alone now. Headshot, but an instant trade from BMAS. And it's game point for Mousesports.
That's such a hard spot for Kjaerbye, right? Because you know he wants more than one kill in that round, but he also knows at the same time, while he's got that one kill, he should, in essence, take it. Because if he swings to kill someone else and then finish Karrigan, there's a chance he gets nothing, right? There's a chance as a player looking his way, and he just dies on a wide swing. So he has to shoot Karrigan first, really, in that position, and then his position's given up, and Rops just swivels and trades. Great reaction for Rops. Like, he had to react immediately to keep that round alive, and he did, only giving Kjaerbye the one kill. It wasn't enough. Mousesports win with one man alive, so that really shows how valuable 2 kills could have been for Kjaerbye in that position, but could not have done much more. 15-6, and this is looking lost for FaZe. Is there any way to save their day? Push on ramp. Whiff spray for Rops. It is a frag for Cold, and a double push as well. They can even grab that AK. If they push Palace, they will regret it, as Acor is waiting patiently and immediately back into a 4-on-4, but not for long. Rain gets a B pick, and Karrigan sneaking behind his opponents, as he often is.
Oh, but does he know about the man in the site? Doesn't look like it. So Kjaerbye could be the undoing. What's happening? They don't know. There's one. Oh, jump scare. And it's Kjaerbye back inside of the site to finally silence Karrigan. No one really knows what just happens there for FaZe, right? They're scratching their heads. How on earth was Karrigan there? And so now Mousesports still feeling this A bomb site, wanting to finish what Karrigan started, wanting to get this game over and done with. Out through ramp they go, and Kjaerbye's scared about them being in CT. That's how little information they had about these players. I mean, there was only one, but they don't know that. And so they're paranoid that there's more players slipped in through CT, maybe a window boost. And so now it's all left onto Olof to try and keep the game ticking on for FaZe Clan. 1v2 on his plate. It's a pretty tall order indeed, and with only the MP9 to accompany him, it's not looking good for FaZe. Olof, and he comes slowly but surely. Might dodge the timing on the man in through ramp and could catch the CT player, but just looks away at the wrong time. Mousesports, they're going to lock this victory in pretty dominantly over on Mirage. Great stuff from Karrigan. We saw a lot of aggression out of him that was always going unchecked, was always getting away with a lot more than it should have been allowed to do. And you could see how much it was making FaZe second-guess themselves there throughout really a lot of those rounds, but most specifically in that final round with Kjaerbye not even looking at ramp,